What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. We're going to get into NXT from March the 4th, 2025. Not my favorite episode of NXT. I am thoroughly disappointed in Shawn Michaels for allowing Shawn Spears, the main event of the show. Not a good look, but it is what it is. And I did not like the Hank and Tank Hardy Boy segment. I didn't like that. That was a waste of time. But the show was not bad. It's just those two things brought the show down, in my opinion. So we kicked the show off with the first match of the night. Sol Ruca and Zarya, they defeated Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. So Sol Ruca defeated Chelsea Green via the Soul Snatcher. Also in the match, Zarya F5'd both Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. That was great. And then, like I said, the finish was Zarya hitting an F5 on Chelsea Green. And then that allowed for Sol Ruca to hit the Soul Snatcher for the 1-2-3. So clearly they're going to do Sol Ruca and Chelsea Green at a later date. They could do it at Roadblock. They could do it the week after. So that could be interesting. I do like that. I wish that they would do something else with Zarya. I wouldn't turn her heel, but she doesn't need to be in this tag team. She just doesn't. I mean, if you go back and watch her vignettes that we got at her months ago, we thought she was going to be this badass female warrior, you know, kicking ass and taking names, and she's not done that. But it is what it is. But maybe once some people get caught up from NXT and they go to the main roster, maybe a couple of spots will open up for Zarya. Because I could see Zarya being NXT Women's Champion as well as the NXT Women's North American Champion. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Moving on. So we go to Ava's office. Jordynne Grace says that she has unfinished business with Roxanne Perez. Cora Jade shows up. Jordynne Grace says that Cora Jade is just here to protect her best friend, Roxanne Perez. Cora Jade informs Jordynne Grace that she's no longer best friends with Roxanne Perez, which they're basically frenemies all the time, basically. Kind of like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, basically. Cora Jade thanks Ava for granting her a match against Jordynne Grace's best friend, Masha Slamovich. Once Cora Jade becomes the TNA Knockout Champion, she proclaims that she'll be a better champion than Jordynne ever was. Jordynne Grace says the day that happens, she'll retire, which was kind of funny. Ava likes where this is going, and she makes a match between Jordynne Grace and Cora Jade. All right, that's cool there. Moving on. So Trick Williams, he's looking for a fight. He wants to fight Eddy Thorpe. He wants him right now. So Kel Dixon and Uriah Connors, they interrupt. They have a special gift for Ava. So Kel Dixon tells Trick to calm down because he's the one who's responsible for putting Chase U on the line in the first place. So Trick shoves Dixon against the wall, and that was it. That was the end of the segment. So I like this. It seems that Trick's emotions are getting the best of him. We're still on the redemption arc for Trick Williams, which I do like. I do expect for him to probably be champion, to regain the championship by Stand and Deliver, for sure. I don't know. It all depends, but maybe that's where this is all leading towards, him versus Obafemi at Stand and Deliver. I hope, because we got 7 weeks. So we got 7 weeks to build that. We got more than enough time. I trust the process of Shawn Michaels. Moving on. Kelly Kinnaid, she's back. She's been gone for months. Like, I don't know what happened, but she's back. I thought she may have got quietly released or whatever. I'm not trying to be mean, but I thought that that's what might have happened. So she has a backstage interview with Tony D'Angelo. So the Don welcomes Kelly back to the brand. He says he has a lot to say about Izzy Dame, but he wants to respect the guidelines from the CW network. He said he's here, but he respects the fact that Stax was looking out for him. The Don plans on finishing business with Shawn Spears. All right, that's fine there. Moving on. Jada Parker defeats Kalani Jordan in a really good match. This was a solid, stiff match. I enjoyed this. I still don't understand why they're feuding. I don't get that. It's kind of fucking weird to me for whatever reason, but it is what it is. So Jada Parker gets the win. She wins via the Hypnotic. This was a solid, good match. These two ladies, they work well together. Jada Parker is just sexy AF, and Kalani Jordan, she looks good too. Post-match, she said that she's gonna have her eyes on both Julia and Stephanie Vacker. So it seems like to me that next week maybe Jada Parker's gonna get involved and allow it to be a no contest. So that should be interesting, because you would think that Shawn Michaels was going to book this for Stand and Deliver, which he probably will, because that's the biggest match you could do. So that's interesting there. And maybe that's when they'll unify the titles there. So that makes sense versus trying to do it on television, even though they're setting up Roadblock to be a pay-per-view on television, which I'm actually down for. But we'll have to wait and see how things play out. Moving on. So Obafemi, he's at a press conference. So he said he's very much looking forward to this clash of Nigerian Titans, but he can't allow from someone from TNA to walk around with his NXT championship. He was very impressed with Moose's performance against Lexis King last week. However, Obafemi hit hard. Pause. And he's going to make Moose wish that he never left the NFL. That was funny. Oba plans to walk in and out of the theater at Madison Square Garden with his NXT championship. I do like this. This is great. This is excellent. Good shit. Even though I'm not a fan of Moose, this should still be a good visual, you know. I like it. Interesting. And I do think that we'll probably get a Worlds Collide. It'll probably start at Stand and Deliver, and maybe progress into Rebellion, because Rebellion is like literally a week. It's literally like a week after WrestleMania, so we could get a couple of crossover matches on that card as well. Moving on. So we get a Stephanie Vacker and Julia video package, which is pretty cool. Again, I still think that Jada Parker is going to show up and probably cause it to be a no contest. Probably just take out both ladies. That makes sense to me. And I'm pretty sure that Kalani Jordan's going to get involved as well. So there's that. Moving on. So the Hardy Boys, they show up next. They get a really good reaction. So they express their gratitude for the support that they've been receiving over the last couple of weeks. They've been they've been in almost every locker room in the history of professional wrestling. They see the passion and hunger inside the NXT locker room. Jeff was impressed with the fire they saw in the eyes of Fraxium. Matt says there's something special going on with the NXT brand. Then lame ass Hank and Tank, they show up. They say that they're here to say thank you for showing them what it means to be a tag team and seek advice from the greatest tag team of all time. They're looking for something to take. My bad. They're looking for something to take them to the next level. The Hardys, they respect Hank and Tank for their work. They're big and strong. Sometimes you have to break the norm to get recognized. Jeff wants them to take things to the extreme. That's not just weapons. It's drive and passion. So the Hardy Boys are ready to take things to the next level. Josh Briggs and Eddie Moore, they show up. So Josh Briggs tells Hank and Tank to stop kissing the Hardys' asses. Pause. They can give Hank and Tank all the advice in the world, but they'll be wasting their time. Josh Briggs says that it's their time to become the tag team champions. And then there's a brawl that breaks out, which this is a waste of fucking time. I didn't like this segment. This was whack. So Axiom, they show up from behind. Pause. So Matt Hardy, he does the I knew you would come as a broken Matt. So that's pretty cool. Matt then tells for Axiom to bring their best at NXT Roadblock next week. Nathan Frazier says he wants to put the conversation to bed to find out next week who's the best tag team in the world. Okay, good stuff there. Moving on, Jordynne Grace defeats Cora Jade via referee stoppage. And this was kind of wild to me. Masha Slamovich was in the crowd watching this. So apparently they were on the outside. This all happened during commercial, and then when we come back from commercial, the referee just throws up the X sign, and I guess Cora Jade can't compete anymore. So hopefully she gets better. Hopefully this could be, I would say, kayfabe, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully this is a work and this is not legit. I would hope it's not. But Jordynne Grace winning was the right decision. So maybe they planned it like that. Maybe, I don't know. Have to wait and see though. But that was nasty though. So maybe Jordynne Grace is too muscular for Cora Jade to handle, because Jordynne Grace is beefy as fuck. No, she's beefy. She's one of those muscle mommies. Moving on. So Ethan Page is gonna take on Javon Evans in a New York City street fight next week at NXT Roadblock. So Ethan Page says this goes back to December, where a 20-year-old kid giving a veteran like him a pep talk. Ethan Page realized that he was becoming soft, and that's when he snapped. He would have no problems breaking Javon Evans' jaw again. He calls NXT silly for giving him a match with Javon Evans with no rules. Javon says that Ethan took everything away from him, including his smile. He loves WWE. Javon Evans says there'll be no running next week in New York. He's not going to follow. My bad. He's not going to allow anyone to hold him down anymore. And then they continue to bicker back and forth. Okay, this is fine, but I don't really care about this. I don't. Hopefully, Javon Evans will get his win back. And after that, I could see Ethan Page being caught up to the main roster. I mean, what else is there for him to do? You know what I'm saying? Moving on. So, this leads us into Trick Williams versus Kale Dixon. So Trick hits the trick shot, and then he beats the shit out of Kale Dixon. So he wins the match via referee stoppage. This was about maybe about 10 seconds. So Trick gets on the mic. He tells Eddy Thorpe to come out and get this work. Pause. So Eddy Thorpe, he's on the podium. Eddy says that Trick's having a really hard time not being the man in NXT. Eddy said he wants the spotlight. Eddy says that he has to destroy Trick Williams to show the NXT universe that he's the man. And then Eddy challenges Trick to an NXT Underground match in 2 weeks. That should be fun there. And that's when we should end the feud. Trick needs to win. Eddy Thorpe is not my cup of tea. I think he would be better suited for something like TNA. That's just me. But he's annoying as fuck. I mean, Moving on. So Roxanne Perez, she attacks Jordynne Grace backstage with a steel chair. Okay, that's fine there. Moving on. So Moose, he takes the podium. Moose says that he's been waiting for this match. For this moment. My bad. So Moose, he's at the podium at the Roadblock press conference. A person asks, where does this match with Obafemi rank in Moose's career? Moose says he was waiting for his moment, and he crossed the line. There's no bigger match in this TNA NXT relationship more than Obafemi versus Moose. Moose believes that Obafemi will be a major player in WWE. Moose is planning to leave Roadblock with 2 titles next week because he's going to be the face of this franchise. Okay, that's fine, but that's not going to fucking happen. Obafemi kicks major ass, and he's a future star for sure. Moving on. So, Ava, she announces that Jordynne Grace is going to take on Roxanne Perez next week at Roadblock. So, Fatal Influence, they crash the press conference. Fallon Henley wants to know why she hadn't gotten her rematch for the Women's North American Championship. Ava says they can discuss this at another time. Then Ava walks away, and Fallon Henley continues to complain. Ava sucks as a general manager. She doesn't need to be in that role at all. She does not. No. It seems like they're probably going to end up calling up Fatal Influence. That makes the most sense. Jasmine Nix is not ready. I know she's been wrestling for like a couple of years on the indies and stuff like that, but she's not ready to be on the main roster unless they're going to leave her by herself in NXT and just call up Fallon Henley and JC Jane. I think that would make sense. You could rebuild that women's tag team division that you're doing on the main roster. Triple H. Moving on. So Ricky Saints, he runs into Ridge Holland in the backstage area. Pause. Ridge knows who Ricky is. So Ridge, he refuses to shake Ricky's hand. Ridge says that Ricky doesn't belong in NXT. Ricky tells Ridge that he'll see him around. So Ricky then bumps into Shawn Spears by accident, nearly. So Shawn Spears tells Ricky that the Revolution will be televised when he becomes the next North American champion. Okay, that's fine there. Main event of the evening, Shawn Spears defeats Tony D'Angelo to become the new NXT North American champion. Oh my God, Shawn Michaels, why, bro? Why? So he wins via a roll-up, basically. So Tony D went for the spine buster, and then his back gave out pause, and then that's when Shawn Spears just rolls him up for the 1, 2, 3. Not good, Shawn Michaels, not good. Basically, both stables got involved throughout the match and everything else, so that makes sense, basically. It seems like the family, Tony D, they're going to get caught up. It seems like Tony D's been in NXT for basically about close to 4 years now. So, it's time. So, I could see Tony D and Stacks and all of them get caught up as well. Definitely definitely Adriana Rizzo, her getting caught up as well. So yeah, there's that. It seems like Ricky Starks is going to be the one to take the title from Shawn Spears, and that should happen probably at Stand and Deliver in 7 weeks. So I have to wait and see how that plays out. All in all, NXT this week was okay. Could have been better. Fuck Shawn Spears. Fuck Hank and Tank. Fuck Josh Briggs and Inamura. Those were not things that needed to be on the show, but it is what it is. But Roadblock next week should kick major ass. I'm very excited for Roadblock. I think Shawn Michaels is going to be able to redeem himself for sure. I'm very interested in Roadblock. It should be some crazy stuff happening on that show for the most part. But what did you guys think of NXT? And let me know if you guys are excited for NXT Roadblock next week. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.